the concept that this sacred spiral, I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight, is highly dependent, completely dependent on water. In fact, what you're looking at as the antenna to the Creator, that's what we showed you in the book DNA, Pirates of the Sacred Spiral. Your DNA is actually an antenna to the Creator. It's a receiver and a transmitter of photons and phonons. Photons are light, phonons are sound. It's a receiver and transmitter of light and sound. And that is the truth that's been suppressed by those who wish you to not know about your own spirituality. This is the same DNA strands if you take as little as 8% of the water out of it. Dehydration causes the DNA, your genetic strands, to unravel, fold, and the energetics, which are measured here, shows dramatic drop in the energetics and the energy transmitting capacity of the DNA strands. So here you have well-hydrated DNA, and here you have dehydration. Longevity, by the way, the fact is that we age primarily because of what you just saw, dehydration within the DNA and the genetic core. The matrix of DNA. If you go back into earlier work and you consider every aspect of healing, every single type of healing, it all engages water. Water is a primary factor in healing. And when you think about the concept of the breath of the earth and creationism and purging and restoring, creating fertile soil for new life to evolve, that is, in essence, what healing is about. Every single practice is about getting rid of what's negative, detoxification, and creating the restoration. Now, in healing celebrations, we covered 5 aspects, every single one of them. Detoxification, deacidification, pH, power of hydrogen, parts hydrogen, H2O. The parts hydrogen and the oxygen are the most valuable of all of the elements pertaining to healing. Boosting immunity, the immune system, every aspect of the way various products work or don't work have to do with the hydration levels of the body. Again, oxygenation, bioenergetics, all have intimate connections to water. The hydrogen and oxygen are so awesome, so special, and the combination in the sacred geometry of the water molecule makes it even more profoundly important for life, health, healing. The science then, therefore, suggests strongly that your past life memories, quote unquote, may in fact have been just like a homeopathic holds a resonance frequency in the molecular structure of the water, that your ancient ancestors could have had those memories or those experiences involving intense emotions, whether it be joy or whether it be pain and suffering, and that the memory of that passed from water molecule to water molecule, just as in a homeopathic, generation to generation through the genetics. It's not the DNA or the sacred spiral itself that's holding the memory, it's the water within it. Furthermore, the hexagonal sacred geometry of organic chemistry and all life forms is exclusively seen here. You don't see 10-sided geometric forms, you don't see 3, you see 6, exclusively hexagons. And it also is emerging from small to large, as per the theological tenet, as above, so below. Dr. Emoto's thesis is absolutely accurate, in my opinion, based on not only these revelations, but ones that I will share with you as we proceed. There is messages in water, there is a creative essence in water, and it is desperately trying to communicate to us at this point with regard to how we should be acting as human beings on this planet. Tetragrammaton is related to the tetrahedron, which is a four-sided equilateral triangular structure or a pyramid. You've certainly heard of pyramid power. You've certainly heard that the Pyramid of Giza was constructed for the pharaohs, and the burial tombs in there maintained those corpses in a state, and that ultimately preserved them and that was associated with the energy taken in. The same thing with every water molecule. So the concept that DNA is based completely, its function is totally contingent upon its hydration and the structures, the pyramid power of the water molecules. The H2O is molecularly structured just like a pyramid. And so what's really taking place is the same type of receiving and transmitting of energy through the DNA that allows longevity as well as life. The concept of yin-yang, as I mentioned, in the technologies of the Orient. This whole philosophy that there's a balance and that we operate based on that balance, and that there's energy pathways, there's acupuncture meridians, and that there's energy centers, and that the manner in which it flows or gets blocked is heavily dependent upon positive, negative charges or energy and or spirituality. With regard to the celestial bodies, here you can see Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, etc. All of the celestial bodies maintain this, as well as do every single subcellular component in every cell in your body. Whether it's the lysosomes, the nucleolus, the ribosomes, all of these parts of your cell, the cell nuclei, they all likewise jive, they all vibrate, they all precipitate in the nodal regions of the 3, 6s, and 9s. So the N6 happens to have nodes, and it's always the 3, 6s, and 9s. Everything in the physical realm in terms of creation manifests in the nodes that reflect the powers of the 3, 6s, and 9s in math. Now that's very interesting, particularly for those of you who have studied a fellow by the name of Nikola Tesla. Tesla was last century's greatest genius. It wasn't Einstein. In fact, the fact that we have alternating current is a Tesla technology. Royal Raymond Rife, John Keeley, Tesla's students were all taught if humanity only knew the powers of the 3, 6s, and 9s, it would be a completely different world. And what are the patterns that exist in the mathematics? So if you simply take this pattern here, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so there's your virtual perfect circle of numbers, at least, and you double these, you'll get this pattern. 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16, where 1 plus 6 is 7, 7 and 7 is 14, where 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 and 5 is 10, where 1 plus 0, as I said, is 1. And that's to infinity. So notice that the 3, 6s, and 9s do not participate in that pattern whatsoever. And it's based on this revelation, this knowledge, that Rodin and the physicists conclude Tesla was right. The 3, 6s, and 9s hold a key that if humanity understood what it is, it would be a completely different world. These folks have advanced the concept that we're looking at the portals, 3, 6, and 9 portals to the spiritual domain, the portals to the fourth and multidimensional space beyond. So this is the mathematics. This is also associated with the Fibonacci series, 144,000. And it also has to do with the phi ratios and the golden mean. This is the numerology of divinity. Resonance, a small periodic, it's defined as a small periodic stimulus that has such a profound impact, or is so much like that resonance, that frequency of the universe, that it has the capacity to produce a profound impact. That's the second note of the original musical scale. That's the definition in Webster's Dictionary. Miragistorum is miracles in English. It just so happens that this 528 frequency is used by the world's leading genetic biochemists to be the miraculous repair frequency for damaged DNA. I'm going to show you in a little while how it does it. That tone, 528 hertz, sets up a resonance frequency within that genetic strand that's so much like the core creative frequency of the universe, which is love, 528 hertz, that it causes an entrainment of the genetics so it goes back into its perfect state. You take a look at the structure of your antenna to the Creator. Your DNA, it's made up of these multiple units of precisely this mathematical pattern. So again, now taking Mueller's work with the standing gravitational wave and superimposing now the knowledge that I've just shared. The first note is the first node of the N6. 396, 417, 528. You lay it out. You lay the 6 original tones of the original musical scale on Mueller's contribution of the standing gravitational wave, and you begin to see some very interesting things. For example, if you were to now realize that this 528 is at close to the center. Let's assume that the center is right about here. And you've got 528 and you've got 639 right next to each other on the grand universal life wave, if you will. And this resolves to a 6, this resolves to a 9. You bring these close together, you got 6, 9. You also have what? Yin-yang. You've got the yin-yang symbol. And if you superimpose them completely on top of one another, you have the eye of the hurricane. And then, what is this note? 528, miracle. Miracle 6, do, re, mi, ut, re, mi. What is this? Fa, family torum, the family. This is the miracle family, is at the center of the core creative frequencies of the universe.